If I asked you right now, this exact second, to tell me what time it is, you'd have an answer instantly. You'd glance at your wrist or check your phone and reply with absolute certainty. But if I followed up and asked, how does your device actually know that? The confidence vanishes. Almost no one can explain the mechanics of the quartz oscillator humming inside their phone, or the physics of the atomic clocks those devices sync to. We live our entire lives reacting to a number generated by a complete black box. We trust the output implicitly, even when the complex mechanisms inside are entirely invisible to us. Right now, society is facing another rapidly expanding black box, artificial intelligence, and it is terrifying people. There is a deep anxiety that by letting a machine generate code, draft emails, or structure arguments, we are losing our intellectual craft. This reliance on unseen mechanisms raises a vital question. Is the loss of individual craft a decline, or is it actually the historical mechanism that allows human coordination to scale? In the ancient world, timekeeping served a singular, high-stakes purpose. Predicting the annual flooding of the Nile determined whether a civilization thrived or starved. As those early settlements grew into sprawling societies, biological observation hit a hard limit. Feeling the rhythm of the seasons was no longer enough. Coordinating thousands of people required hard precision. This demand eventually gave rise to the romantic ideal of the watchmaker. We picture a solitary artisan, hunched over a workbench by candlelight, hand-filing tiny brass gears. That person had to master metallurgy, understand the laws of physics, and produce pure artistry. It was an incredible display of skill, but it harbored a fatal flaw. A society relying on handmade, artisanal perfection creates a massive bottleneck. You cannot mass-produce that level of singular genius. If every person needed that exact specialized knowledge just to coordinate their day, the system would collapse. A globally connected world cannot run on hand-filed gears. The danger of localized artisanal time became physically destructive during the Industrial Revolution. Before standard time zones, every town set noon by the sun. If a train leaves on one local time and a dispatcher miles down the track operates on a watch 5 minutes different, schedules fail, trains collide, and people die. To stop the chaos, society had to build a central, invisible timing belt, a standardized, automated system that synchronized the physical world without requiring everyone to be a clockmaker. This shows the power grid's 60 Hz alternating current. For power to flow, all waves must lock perfectly in phase. If regional plants drift out of alignment by a fraction of a second, turbulence trips circuit breakers, causing a continental blackout. No mechanical watch can keep a continent in phase. Maintaining that vast electrical grid requires the unyielding stability of atomic clocks. That exact precision operates your phone's GPS, constantly adjusting for Einstein's theory of relativity just to pinpoint your exact street corner. By surrendering the manual craft of watchmaking for an automated black box, humanity gained the infrastructure to power cities, navigate the globe, and run the internet. This brings us straight back to artificial intelligence and what we call the 1% fallacy. We focus all our anxiety on the fear that AI will replace the tiny fraction of humans who possess master-level skills in coding, composing, or technical writing. For centuries, those high-level intellectual abilities were gated behind immense barriers. You needed innate talent, decades of specialized training, or extreme wealth. The vast majority of humanity was completely locked out of the creative economy. Think about the Quartz watch. It took flawless, military-grade timekeeping and made it cheap and mass-produced. You didn't need to understand an escapement mechanism to know when to catch a train. The Quartz interface democratized time. AI is the Quartz Revolution of intellect. A scientist might have a brilliant theory for climate modeling, but lack the years of statistical coding experience required to build the simulation. By treating the AI as an execution tool, she bypasses the barrier entirely. She inputs her theoretical parameters and tests her ideas immediately. By removing the technical barrier of execution, AI increases the weight of the core idea, allowing latent talent to contribute in ways previously gated by a lack of specialized training. Imagine traveling back in time to meet an ancient Egyptian astronomer. He is the absolute pinnacle of intellect for his era, tracking the stars to secure his civilization's survival. If you tried to explain that one day a piece of glass in his pocket would use vibrating cesium atoms on orbiting satellites to guide a car to his doorstep, he wouldn't grasp a word of it. His imagination is bounded by his tools. He cannot conceive of a GPS app because the foundational layer it requires, atomic time, does not exist in his world. We are that Egyptian astronomer. We look at artificial intelligence and argue over whether students will forget how to write a standard 5-paragraph essay. We are fiercely defending our proficiency with sundial skills. By pouring all our energy into protecting the manual craft of the past, we are completely blind to the massive interconnected network of knowledge forming right in front of us. We are ignoring the GPS civilization being built on top of this new layer. Delegating the execution of time allowed humanity to master the physical world. Delegating the orchestration of information to the AI black box will allow us to master the conceptual world. We can continue to mourn obsolete skills, or we can focus on the unprecedented scale of what comes next.